Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. Old Man Winter has returned, guys. Old Man Winter is hitting full force in areas that you would very least expect. We're going to talk about some of these things going on, and we're going to talk about what to watch out for, maybe a few items to keep in your car. And apparently you gotta do this all over the United States, guys. Most of you probably know there was a massive snowstorm a few days ago that hit New Mexico. And there's like photos showing up online, videos of cows being buried in like 3 feet of snow in New Mexico. In New Mexico, parts of Las Vegas, parts of Colorado. Now, Colorado gets a lot of snow, but these were areas where they don't get so much. I mean, it's like over 40 inches of snow in parts of New Mexico. That's crazy. And you have the winter storm that's blowing through. So you have the drifting snow. And those of you who live in the Midwest like us, you know that the drifting snow can be the worst. Because what happens is usually you'll get a big snowstorm during the day, and then it'll freeze at night. Right? Salt trucks can't do much about ice. So if you can, stay home. If you can. I understand not everybody can do that. But we have a storm actually hitting today, which we're going to go over the 5 states that are involved. Now, these 5 states are probably a few of these states are a little more prepared as they get hit with storms, pretty frequently. But it seems awful early. And when you look at some of the temperatures of what it's been down in some of the southern states, it doesn't really, it's strange how the snow hit. Also, have any of you guys been seeing any of these pictures of Saudi Arabia with snow? They're saying it's the first snow ever in Saudi Arabia. How the heck does it rain or snow in Saudi Arabia? There's photos all over online. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. But, first couple things I'll say, guys, if you're in these areas, first of all, let us know down in the comments if you're one of our viewers that is affected by any of these snowstorms. I know we have some viewers in New Mexico. I know we have a lot of viewers in Washington State, and I know that is one of the states that is getting pummeled right now by snow. And it's just, and I know it's November 12th here, so it is, it's Old Man Winter has arrived. But I mean, this is just like, when I looked up the New Mexico thing, I was like, my goodness. I mean, cows are used to snow over here. Down in New Mexico, they're probably freaking out more than the humans. I mean, that is crazy. And, I can't imagine what drivers are going through in New Mexico. We get snow. We get usually a pretty decent amount of snow, but we haven't had 37 inches of snow like that in years. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But we're going to go over the storm here today, and then we're going to talk a little bit about, ways we can prepare. Make sure you have some of these items. We're going to talk about things to have in your car. Because, boy, a storm like that, you want to make sure, one, you're able to keep warm. You may actually consider putting some, some snacks or some food in your car, stuff that doesn't go bad, So anyway, we're going to cover this. This is on Newsweek here. They've been covering a lot of this snowstorm in the Northwest, and they go on to say winter storm, and this was posted 5 hours ago. You guys will be seeing this video November 12th, 2024 at night. So will be some hours after this article here. Winter weather warnings for 5 states with snow, possible power outages. That's another thing. Usually when we get snow here in Cincinnati, Ohio, it gets so cold that when it freezes, it will freeze power lines. And we do, from time to time, lose power, sometimes for days. Now, as to where Duke Energy and a lot of electric companies have really got it down to a science these days, it seems like, knock on wood, okay? Because power line, depending on how bad the weather is, I mean, it can be down for a long time. But they're pretty good at getting power back up these days. They want to keep making that money. So anyway, winter weather advisories have been issued for 5 states with heavy snow and wind gusts expected throughout the coming days. So this is the future from today earlier. So we're expecting high winds, which can prove quite disturbing when you've just had a huge amount of snow. Believe me, I've been there. As fall passes and winter conditions begin to set in, several states will experience snow and wind gusts over the coming days as two systems brought in by an atmospheric river, which is, kind of a river path of atmospheric pressure and winds that flows through like different what they call like a jet stream kind of deal, but an atmospheric river is sort of like that in a way. Will hit the Pacific Northwest and then head down into the Mountain West states. Atmospheric rivers are long, narrow regions in the atmosphere that carry water vapor inland from the Pacific Ocean. When atmospheric rivers make landfall, they typically release the water vapor as either rain or snow, depending on temperatures. And it is just, oof. This is crazy. Some of these pictures here. This is a picture from 2023 though. Let's see. But I'm sure some of the looks are kind of like that. Newsweek does a good job at covering these kind of storms. And it's all over the internet. So whatever website you like to read from. Which states have weather warnings? 5 different states. Colorado, Oregon, Washington, Wyoming, and Utah currently have active warnings in place as of the time of recording this video. 2 National Weather Service NWS winter weather advisories are currently in place for Oregon. Snow is expected at elevations above 5,000 feet throughout the morning on Tuesday, specifically around Diamond Lake, Crescent Lake, Siskiyou Summit, and Howard Prairie. Throughout the northern and central Oregon Cascades, some 3 to 8 inches is expected, particularly at higher elevations around Highway 35 near Bennett Pass, the Timberline Highway on Mount Hood, and in the vicinity of Santiam Pass along US 20. Now, it could amount more to that. I know the further northwest you go, the numbers can kind of vary depending on the different winds and stuff like that. So 4 to 8 inches could get really ugly in some spots where it's catching a lot in the wind, like some blizzard. I don't want to say blizzard, but blizzard-like conditions could make that worse than what it's really forecast. So we got freezing temperatures overnight will lead to, quote, untreated surfaces becoming icy and slick. Boy, do I know that. End quote, making travel dangerous. Quote, have a winter emergency driving kit readily available. Quote, the NWS, National Weather Service, advises, including, quote, a flashlight, batteries, blankets, a shovel, water, non-perishable food items, and tire chains. Wow, that answered all that, guys. A few of those I was going to mention: water, batteries, flashlights, blankets, stuff to keep warm, maybe another change of clothes. Another thing, too, a backpack. I would have a backpack, something you can carry on your back where you can put all of these products in case you have to abandon your car for any reason at all and you have to do some walking. I would carry a backpack so you're not carrying all this stuff on you. Even if if you have a purse or something like that, even put that in your backpack as well. Maybe have like some, if you got some important items you need to keep dry, maybe have like a garbage bag or something. I always keep a garbage bag in my car just for any occasion, and you can always tie that off, put it in your backpack, and it will help keep it a little more dry. In Washington, Concrete, Lyman, and Hamilton are expected to be hit by 12 to 24 inches of snow from Tuesday through Thursday, according to the National Weather Service advisory. Travel along the SR-20 and Washington Pass could be, quote, very difficult, end quote, with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Also expected. Residents should be prepared for power outages, the forecaster said. Yes, I would prepare for all of that and beyond. Honestly, if you can stay home for a couple days, I would do that. If you can. It would be good to make sure, and they're, you know, to put tire chains on your cars in those kind of conditions is not unheard of. I mean, that would be really smart, you know, obviously only if the weather's, you know, is bad enough for you to do that. And it can be a bit of a hassle, but if you have to drive, like if you're medical personnel or a police officer or a tow truck driver, and tow truck, I mean, I'm sure we don't have to say all this stuff to tow truck drivers. They're probably the most prepared on the planet up there in some of the passes, some of the mountain passes, and Highway 20 can get pretty treacherous. But we'll keep moving on here. In Colorado, some 5 to 10 inches of snow is expected at higher elevations in Routt, R-O-U-T-T, however that's pronounced, and Garfield counties around Columbine, Hans Peak, Toponis, Buford, and Trappers Lake. That is where those snow levels are being predicted. But again, keep an eye out, or, you know, the winds could cause just a few inches of snow to go bad in one area where it may not be as bad in another area. We see that a lot here in Cincinnati. Even if we only get a few inches of snow, if there's high winds and if it's below freezing, you know, in a lot of areas around the country right now, like the roads should still be pretty warm. It's been pretty warm all over the country over the last, like, you know, it's like the warmest I remember up through November. But winter is coming, and we need to make sure we are prepared. But I wouldn't count on that. I wouldn't count on it melting real quick, or if, you know, something like 10 to 24 inches of snow, it's going to take a while for snow plows to get to you, or snow plows to get it clear. So prepare for that as well. Elsewhere, some 4 to 8 inches of snow is expected to fall around the Sierra Madre Mountain in Wyoming from around 2 p.m. This afternoon. 2 p.m. their time this afternoon. Let's see, quote, outdoor recreation could be dangerous to those caught unprepared for hazardous winter conditions, end quote, the advisory reads. And yeah, it's good to take note of that because, you know, kids and maybe even yourself, you know, you see all this snow coming. What's the first thing you want to do? You want to go sledding. You see all that snow out there. It's like, hey, it's going to be freezing cold and everything anyway. I can't drive anywhere. So let's go sledding. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you prepare your kids. If you got little kids, you know that they may not be, you know, thinking as much. They're having fun, you know, and if it's really cold, that can be dangerous. I know when we were kids, we used to take like Kroger bags and stuff, tie them around our ankles, you know, over our socks, and then put our shoes in, sometimes the bag over those too, you know, just to make sure you're keeping your feet warm. And, you know, maybe an extra set of clothes and gloves that, you know, are going to be, you know, put your gloves like under your long sleeve shirt or long johns or whatever you're wearing, you know, stuff to keep warm. But make sure you kind of seal off your gloves too, so the snow and ice isn't packing down in there. And obviously you want to wear, you know, some good head protection, you know, some good sock hat or something, you know. Okay, hunters, hikers, and snowmobilers may become disoriented and lost due to low visibility in falling and blowing snow. That is definite. I would not be on a bike at all. But I don't know. Snowmobile, you know, just be careful. I'm sure that if you own a snowmobile, you're used to this kind of weather, and just be careful. But yeah, hunters and hikers, yes. You know, you definitely want to be careful. Know your surroundings. Know areas that you can get to, you know, that may form some kind of protection. Like if you are hiking somewhere, look for that area where you can like get under in case, you know, it starts really coming down, or you know, if you start having trouble and you need to get in something, you know, you need to get out of it for a second. Utah's Wasatch Mountains, I probably killed that pronunciation, W-A-S-A-T-C-H, Wasatch Mountains, will also be impacted by snow until 7 p.m. this evening. That's probably when this video is going to come out, about 7 p.m. So, with commutes through mountain routes expected to be challenging, motorists are urged to slow down and use caution while traveling. Okay, and that's it from Newsweek here, but I'm going to talk for just a second. They pretty much, they went over what we were going to talk about. Things to have on you. we'll talk about a couple other little things here. Like, one thing that's nice to have are those little hand warmers, those little $2 hand warmers that you buy at the store. Put them inside your glove here, It's good to have. It's good to have any kind of little heat warmers. You want to be careful with those, though. You want to be careful. You want to make sure that you don't burn yourself or something. And there's some other precautions to take with those as well. I know we go over some of this stuff during the winter time. Might not be a bad idea to have like a thermos for maybe some coffee, or, if you're on your way to work, like I said, medical staff, they're going to work no matter what here. Firefighters, have a thermos, maybe one with soup, maybe one for your coffee. Nothing wrong with having a couple thermoses, you're going to eat and drink it anyway. Might as well have it, just in case, right? Just in case. Knock on wood, nothing does. But you want to have this stuff just in case. We have to be prepared for these kind of things. I'll tell you, and I know, these northwestern states, you guys are more prepared for snowstorms than anybody. But I know we have a lot of viewers out that way. We have viewers all over the country and around the world. I still can't get over the whole Saudi Arabia thing. Snow in Saudi Arabia. They're saying that's the first time it's ever happened since they started recording it, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, that's crazy. Snow in Saudi Arabia and in New Mexico. And not just a light snow, 37 inches of snow in some areas of New Mexico. That is nuts. That is crazy. I know we have a lot of viewers in Texas too, and a lot of you guys over the last couple of years on the channel have said, we've seen some different snowstorms go through northern Texas. Very rare. And we've seen that over the last couple of years. So I don't know. Is there some kind of, transition of things happening here? I mean, I feel some southern states got more snow than we did last year. Now, you go a little north of here, though. You get up to like northern Columbus and Cleveland along the Great Lakes. Yeah, they're the ones that got the snow plows as big as buildings. They get so much snow. Buffalo, we got a lot of viewers from Buffalo, New York. I've heard some snow war stories from up there, guys. And New York City. I mean, and they just shovel it out into the bay. I mean, that's where you're gonna put it. That's a lot of it. But, yeah, winter's coming, guys, and this is a firm reminder of that. So just make sure you're prepared. Make sure, if you have to travel. If you don't have to, I can imagine, I bet that a lot of I read a couple articles on the New Mexico thing, and it looks like how you would think. A lot of these areas are completely shut down because they don't know. A lot of the areas, they don't even have snowplows. They don't know what to do. Hopefully it just warms up and melts. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. It shouldn't be that cold down there. I mean, it's going to be chilly here tonight. I know it's going to get down to like 32, I think. So right about freezing. But we have no snow in the forecast here. Thank goodness. You guys know me and snow. I do not like snow. But I do like snow for the kids. And, it's like, if the nieces and nephews want to go sledding and we have a good snow, sure, I'm going to take advantage of it. But what I hate is all, driving and all that stuff, because it's not so much yourself you have to worry about, it's everybody else. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.